We have had a doozy of a day.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Johnny!
How is everybody?
Oh,
Good, man.
I'm still sucking air.
That's
So-
good.
It's always good to be sucking air.
Yeah. I had some car trouble. I thought the transmission on our van was going out. I was fucking panicking. Turns out we got a misfire on cylinder 2. But it was having trouble accelerating, and it's fucking shaking real bad because of the misfire, especially first taking off. And she just told me all these things, and I was looking it up. I was like, yeah, it sounds like a bad transmission, but it's a fucking valve went out in cylinder 2, and fucking could be the coil pack, could be a valve, could just be a plug. So, but it's drivable for now.
Is this something you can fix or no?
Oh, I've got my brother is a fucking mechanic.
Awesome.
So we took it up to O'Reilly's. He went in there and got their fucking diagnoser machine and ran that and went in and fucking figured it all out. And so he's gonna fix it this week.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. I hate having car troubles and all that, and your money has to go down the tube for shit like that.
Yeah. He gives us that fucking family rate too.
Good. Can't beat that.
Shit, no.
You ready, Johnny?
Yeah.
Let's fuck this chicken.
Wow.
I've never
thank you,
heard
Jeff.
that before. I like that.
I'm not editing that part out. That's staying.
Fuck this chicken.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
And
South.
Yeehaw.
Welcome to this.
Yeah, to the South. That's fine. Ready?
Ready, Freddy?
Welcome to the Horror Basement. I'm one of your hosts, John. Got Jim Jam, Yeti, and Angela here with us.
Hey.
Oh yeah, Yeti's the chicken fucker.
Okay. Yeah. On today's podcast, we will be talking witches. Hansel and Gretel Bake is the movie of the week, or Get Baked. Sorry. And we hope everyone has a Merry Halloween.
Fuck.
God damn, what are you, dollar store?
I am doing two things at once. I fucked up, and I don't know why I decided to do the intro while I was typing Hansel and Gretel Get Baked on my other phone to try to have pulled up. That was a dumb thing. I agree.
Yeah.
We're dumb. We're dumb. But yeah. Yeah, so we hope everyone has a happy Halloween. Halloween's coming up in the next shortly, few days.
Yeah.
It's on a Saturday, and as we always say on every holiday, if you drink, please don't drive.
Don't drive.
Like-
Do the watermelon crawl.
Yeah, like we know everyone wants to go out and have fun, but you need to be safe so you can come back and listen to us. That's
Uber
the most
it.
important thing is listen to us. It's not your life. We
Yeah.
don't care about. No, I'm just joking. We don't care about your life. We just like your listens and your views.
What?
We need those analytics.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. What are y'all getting into this Halloween? What are y'all doing?
Well, it's my wedding anniversary, so
Oh.
Hell yeah.
probably I have a list of movies I think I'm going to throw down on that I got on DVD, on Blu-ray and 4K and stuff. So I got probably start off with Hocus Pocus and then move on to Frankenweenie, Ed Wood,
Okay.
then Halloween, and then House of a Thousand Corpses.
Thing
Hell
where you
yeah.
shared the Frankenweenie and the Hocus Pocus. Yeah. Do you get trick-or-treaters normally?
No, sadly. We had bought tons of candy and one year and nobody came. And so I don't even really bother anymore. It's kind of the way I'm set up too. I don't think people think to come back here and stuff. So
You need to put a sign out by the road. I don't know. That'd probably be creepy.
No.
Candy back here.
Candy for children.
yeah.
Got
Squash
free
that
candy.
idea. Squash that idea.
I mean, that sounds like a Hansel and Gretel thing.
You're right.
Then you can put a Joe Biden sign beside it.
Oh, they're all in my neighborhood.
It'd be a funny sign then. Free candy back here, kids. Joe Biden. Anyways,
I think probably at Jimmy's. Halloween didn't cancel here, so
Good.
still not 100% sure how many people will come out this year. I'm really more curious of that because Friday we have the trunk or treat. They're going to be doing a big thing at a local place here. And the Horror News is going to be a part of it.
yeah, buddy. The TN Horror Haunted House.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds like a lot of fun. Are you all three gonna be there? Or?
No, I'm gonna be down here. Yes, I think we're gonna do. I don't know if they're trick or treating here. Like we can't find anything out about it. So we got other kid stuff we're gonna do.
They canceled. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be news, right?
yeah. You'd think.
Everything's living like is Halloween canceled in such and such area, you know?
I don't see how they can feel like they can cancel something when
They
people
can't.
just do. They can't. No, just
Yeah.
fucking go do it. Go get candy. Go knock on people's doors. As long as they have their light on, I guess.
Yeah,
Their porch light, but like try. Fuck it. You know, don't let the government stop
Yeah.
you from Halloween.
Hell, the trunk or treat thing that we're having, we're going to be a part of here. I mean, it's in a big, parking lot where it used to be a Red Food. I don't know if anybody knows what a Red Food was, but it's Southern Foods. It's in the South probably. But so it's going to have food trucks and all kinds of stuff, music and just like a really family friendly event. So I'm not sure if people even want to go trick or treating if they can,
yeah. I think the old lady's gonna take the boy to a couple trunk or treats they got around here. They're doing it like both days. Like they're doing it like Friday and Saturday and Sunday or something.
I'm sure you can probably, just type in trunk or treat on Facebook and maybe find some kind of events around.
Oh yeah, there's a few, and we got flyers in the mail, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Like there are a couple places. There's like the churches down here do a lot of them, and like they sent flyers out in the mail. This time and date, this parking lot or whatever, and that's super cool. They're kind of letting people know, hey, we're still gonna have fun for the kids, and that's important.
Yeah,
Yeti.
I agree.
Hey, Eddie, speaking of the church thing, do you go wearing your Satan shirts while going to them?
Oh yeah, I just wear what I got on. Like,
okay.
Usually it's just my hoodie with the giant Thor's hammer on the back, or fucking my Ouija board shirt's one of my favorites. But yeah, no, I don't really care.
I don't think they care, to be honest.
I don't think they do either. Really, like they're pretty chill.
Like,
And it's Halloween, so
yeah, like to be honest, I mean,
yeah,
you got
shit.
like voting centers are mostly at churches in the South, at least.
Yeah.
All kinds of people walk up in there
Oh yeah.
wearing whatever. It just, I mean, so I just people just really.
I think this year I'm splitting it between family friendly Halloween time, like trunk or treats, and we're gonna probably go visit my in-laws and have all this fun time for the kid, and psychedelic ritual magic.
Nice.
So,
I was
it's gonna be
yeah.
fun.
It's
It's gonna be real fun. I'm gonna watch
it's
Cabin
Samhain,
California
so
too.
it's gonna be probably have a little altar for past loved ones. I'll do for my
Yeah.
pets.
I'm gonna
Say an altar?
Yeah, for Samhain.
I don't know. Well,
That's
what?
it's a pagan.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about this stuff, guys.
It's for Yeah, it's to celebrate the end of the harvest. It usually goes. It's Halloween basically, but it's
Yeah.
from October 31st to November 1st. And
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's the death of the light. It's the end of light. The end of like the growing season and the harvest and stuff, and it's a transition into winter. And it's also a time to remember the dead. And it's also like a really like there's that whole veil between the worlds thing where it's thinner and then it kind of gets more into like Dia de los Muertos and stuff. And it's also a full moon this year,
yep.
which is like metaphysically significant. So I'm gonna work some ritual magic and alter my own reality at the same time.
Do some purifications and
that
kind of stuff. It's probably what I might do too.
I've been curious about that stuff, but like I know there's it holds power. Like each individual holds a power. I understand that, more and more. But I just don't know how about going about it.
Well, it's more. I know for like me, it's about intention. That's what
like people
Yeti,
like what
do you
books
practice
to read?
something different? Yeah, I could see Yeti more of dark arts than what I practice.
I don't
mean that it's a bad thing.
Oh no, not at all. I don't have a set belief system. I practice study chaos magic.
Okay.
I do a lot of runes and sigils, stuff like that. My belief system bounces, as in chaos magic, your belief system bounces from one thing to another to just whatever fits. I've been on a kick with like Ishtar though. Ishtar has been my patron goddess for a while now.
Okay.
What, Jimmy?
Sorry, I was just gonna ask. Is that something you can do over Skype with us all, just to watch, see how you do things, or do you got to get like a?
I feel like it's kind of personal.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's kind of personal, fine. And it's
right. Like you got to be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have the ceremonial flair. Mine's a really private working, and I'm just gonna have a head full of adulterants. So.
I mean, because I know for me it's very personal. So.
Yeah. I was just curious.
If I worked like a more cool looking ceremony kind of thing, that would be neat. But it's just a bunch of nerd shit.
Even though because like my sign is fire, but I feel very, very drawn to earth and water. So I do mine like in the bathtub a lot, so I can be in water.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do
that. And I do like blood magic and sex magic, so like you don't want to see any of that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, be personal.
Well, okay, well, hey, we can always start OnlyFans, for was it chaos magic and stuff.
I'm still gonna do a series where I fucking break down. I go through. I've still got a ton of occult books. I still have the desire to delve into occult stuff and to talk about it in a series of video essays, but I just can't find a way to make it not fucking boring. Like, I don't find it boring at all. Like, but
because you have to be a showman to make anything interesting. It's almost like you're a showman / kind of not believable, right?
Yeah, kind of. And I was scripting from my like study notes like as I go through this and study it, I'm taking notes and stuff, and so I was scripting from that, and it felt really academic. Mm-hmm. And that's not because there's 1,000 people out there who just sit down and academically talk about chaos magic. I want to be able to make it more real. You know what I'm saying? To make a connection. But I'm really not a showman. I don't know.
Do
It's
you
something I
have
still want to do.
do you have other people there? Like, I mean, I don't have a coven. I mean, I'm more of an independent practice, but I know like we have our one listener and she podcasts up in Canada. I know you interviewed with her, Jim. Um,
Oh yeah.
not that long ago. She's great. I think she'd be fun to go out in the woods with. So she's a free spirit like I am in that sense. But do you have anybody that any friends or anything that do this as well with you?
I don't know. I do know people like every now and then I'll go. I've got a friend who's like really into like the witch community locally,
Uh-huh.
and they have big group rituals on all the Sabbaths. And sometimes I'll go over there with them, but they're more like right hand path Wicca, you know.
Okay.
But they're cool people.
Yeah.
Chaos magic is kind of like a really solitary thing.
Yeah, I
Because
assume.
everybody's working is going to be different. Like you get 10 people who practice, and their take on it's going to be you're going to get 10 different takes on it. You know, so it's kind of a so
Hey,
yeah, no,
hey,
not really.
Hey, Angela.
Yeah.
What was it you called what you practice or study or whatever you want to call it?
I'm more of, I don't even want to say eclectic witch, but I do practice a little bit of more of like the green magic and I do like water magic and stuff like that.
Would you say earthy type stuff?
Well, it's you'd be a green witch if you're
Green witch. Okay.
yeah,
Like
because of animals and the earth and
yeah,
you get your power from that and you don't have to believe in God or goddesses, but the moons and everything, it's I like all of that. So
Okay. I
My
was just.
oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh no, it was nothing.
My
Move on.
question is always, how do you know what books to read? What literature? I shouldn't say books, but literature in general to know that it's knowledgeable, it's correct, and it's not just somebody's opinion, and the book is just bloated with bullshit. That's my question. That's what I mean, because you can't find it on the internet because everyone has their own fucking opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's so difficult.
for me personally, there's like a hierarchy of authors who wrote on the subject, so you just kind of go within that, and you're going to be fine. Like
yeah, I think
there's a handful.
well, I think also with mine, it's kind of the same. It's similar in that sense, but there's a lot of the same things. You'll see what's common and what they and what they talk
Yeah.
about between the history, but also in practice. It's really about encouraging your intuition and your ability to create spells and learning how to do that as well, and working with different elements, whether if you want to be elemental or if you want to be like Yeti and the ruins, or if you want to work with materials, gems, I mean, tarot cards. It's the list goes on and on. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think where it gets. I think I looked up that book.
Yeah, you can get it.
Because I got into looking up books and stuff just to see.
Says you can get the audiobook for free.
And
Well, you have to have.
Free trial. It's a free
it
trial.
also goes a lot into what I don't think that anybody who's ever seriously written about, unless they're talking about like historical things that you can be either right or wrong about, but as far as like the practice of magic in general, I don't think anybody's ever been wrong. I don't think you can be wrong. But
yeah,
there is a, it's kind of like it's a personal preference thing, and I try to stay away from anything that's that tries to claim to be ancient. like there was this big Wicca movement like in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, where it was like, oh, it's the ancient ways, but it was just made up by some hippies in the 40s.
Yeah, like the 60s or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like somewhere between the 40s and the 60s where Homeboy came up and codified Wicca, and but it's like
lady.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be reconstructionism of ancient ways or something like that. I think some of that, like in it, like its historical connections can be dubious and just flat out horseshit. But when you get down to the actual practice, it's all about what makes your fucking brain meat connect to the universe.
Exactly. And I will say this for me. This is just for me. I got to a point. I grew up Baptist and Catholic. I was confirmed both and baptized in both. So for me, it was to the point where secular religion has always made me uncomfortable and been the turnoff. Not believing in something, but the more like I said, the church
doctrine
aspect, the doctrine and all of that. And so I had started studying. I knew I don't want to get into certain aspects of like witchcraft because of the fact then to me it just becomes religion all over again.
Yeah.
But however, that's what I like about the way I study it and you're allowed to, because you could be, I'm not saying I am, but you could be atheist or you could, believe in another religion and still practice. It allows for that. And I, for me as a female, I really like the goddess, and I like that whole concept and the explanation of the god and the goddess and how it's one and it's ever evolving and circling around in itself. And as opposed to men created the earth and here's man and woman obeys. And, from a woman's point of view, that gets really old fast. So I think with witchcraft, that I know is a really huge appeal to me, because I feel that it is more, it's not about dominance, because dominance doesn't help things evolve. To me, it's more of two things uniting, being equal and coming together and working their position that they're supposed to work to evolve and mesh into one. And that's why I'm really attracted to it. That's one of the big things.
Yeah,
I got a thought.
Uh-huh.
Well, it can be, or it can just be a utilitarian practice. Like, there's a good chance that you guys, everybody listening, Jim Jam, Johnny, and all three of you who are listening, there's a good chance that you've practiced magic and you don't even know it.
Oh yeah.
You ever picked up a lucky penny, or a 4-leaf clover, nailed a horseshoe above your door, carried a rabbit's foot, crossed your fingers for good luck, knocked on wood? You ever had an old timer cut a persimmon open, pull the seed out, cut the seed open, and tell you what the winter's going to be like?
No. What?
You ain't never heard of that?
No. What the fuck?
Okay, that one might be. Or you ever heard of people burying railroad spikes in their front yard or chicken's feet above the door?
Yeah,
it's all rituals for good.
Yeah, that's all.
Well,
American folk magic. Yeah,
we've discussed that before. Even in religion, when you pray and a mass group of people pray, you're doing a ritual. You're not just praying to a god. When a collective group comes together and asks for something, it's more likely to happen because of the power that an individual holds. And harness your own power inside is more what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more interested in the power that I have because I know it's there. It's just I need to focus it. Yeah, harness it.
Well, that's where you would focus, because that's also what I'm into as well, and that's where you would focus on books that are about intuition. And stuff.
Pick up a copy of Chaos or Condensed Chaos. It's like $9.
Yeah, because I know it's there because I know things that happen and that I've wanted to happen and I've asked it for it to happen. You know what I'm saying? In my own way, and it does.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that things happen for you because you want it. Like
Well, you start out.
Go ahead.
I was just about to say, I mean, it's a whole, at least for me, it's a whole setup, because you want to ground yourself, you quiet time, you ground yourself, it goes through that, and then you create your circle, and then you do like your meditation, and you practice those, and that's what helps get you more in tune with that intuition. Some people use like the black mirrors or the crystal balls to help, and it explains that how to use that, and it's really neat. And then it consists of maybe some journaling too with it, and so it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
I still have a hard concept of meditation and on the proper way to do it. And I know it might sound stupid, but to meditate and to clear your mind is extremely fucking hard.
That's why it's practice.
It's incredibly difficult.
It's not something you do on like just once, it's something you maybe do for 5 minutes every day to practice.
Yeah. I guess that's more what I need to start doing is focusing on meditation and everything just to learn how to do it more. I don't know. It's really interesting to learn more about.
It is. It's really cool, man, that we can sit and like talk openly about practicing magic and witchcraft, because there was a time in the world, like sticking to the witch theme today, which like that whole fucking spiel wasn't even planned. That just came out so naturally, and it's so cool. But I want to talk about a couple of things. Witch trials. There's two things I want to talk about. First is an American that I just found just fucking hardcore and cool. His name is Giles Corey. And so in the Salem witch trials, what would happen is you would get these shitty little kids, and they would fucking point their finger at some person, or somebody would be jealous, or they'd want your land, so they'd call you a witch. So Giles Corey was he was a member of the church, and he was a prominent farmer. He had a huge fucking plot of land. But he was also kind of a fucking asshole. Like he was convicted of beating a farmhand to death and got a substantial fine, and he was like really brusque with people. He just wanted to do his thing and just be left the hell alone, which I feel deeply in my soul. And so he and his wife get accused of being a witch. It's like his fourth wife, by the way. And he's like, yeah, she's totally a fucking witch. Definitely. And then he recanted his testimony. And anyway, so at the time, you have a system that says, we're going to accuse you of something, and you have to plead yay or nay to these charges, or we can't try you. Right? So he couldn't be tried because he wouldn't put himself on the court, basically. Because he was like, look, I've seen, a bunch of people be tried for witchcraft, and every one of them who was pled guilt or pled innocent was convicted anyway and killed. And everybody who pled guilty was killed. It's like, I can't fucking win. I'm not going through your kangaroo court. If you want to torture me, but I don't enter in a plea, you can kiss my ass. So what they did was this, it's called pressing, and it was a French thing, because this is a common law thing. It was like a European thing that came over here. And when people refused to enter a plea, they put a big flat, like, plank over the top of them, and then stack iron and stone on them for days at a time until they would plea. They didn't even have to confess. They just had to plead guilty or not guilty, and then be subsequently tried. Giles Corey refused, and they stacked stone on him. And his last words before he was crushed under the weight of the stone and iron was "more weight." he refused to fucking feed into their bullshit. He also he refused to be tried because there was a chance that the county sheriff would then take his land, so it couldn't go to his heirs if he was found guilty in trial. So, and he had willed his huge estate off to his sons-in-law. So,
did they get it? The land that stay in the family?
Yeah, so the land stayed in the family.
Good.
It went to his sons-in-law, and that was also because that became a huge story. Like, this motherfucker went out like a G, and it became this huge story of how fucking barbaric they treated him, right? Because that was already illegal in England. It had been illegal in France for decades, and it was damn sure illegal here. Like, pressing was banned, and they did it anyway. And that case was kind of what led them to the death of the witch trials here. Because they saw how fucking barbaric it was. And that kind of led to him dying down. Also in Sweden, there's this they had like little parishes, like basically little villages, and they'd all be, there'd be a spot in the middle, and then there'd just be offshoots to these little parishes. And each one had like a church with a minister and yada, yada, yada. In Sweden at the time, this is like 1600s, 1700s. It was all church, and the Lutheran church and the state were combined. So this minister in Torsaker, which I'm probably saying that wrong, he calls on this basically witch finder priest, his name was like Horneus, which I think is kind of funny because I'm a 12-year-old inside. So he calls on him to get the witches, right, in his town. So he brings these children. And the way he gets the children to confess, to point people out as witches, is to bathe them in a frozen lake, put them in an oven, and threaten to light the oven so that they'll inform on people for being witches. So they get these fucking boys, and they're pointing out the witches inside the church congregation because these boys have the power to see an invisible mark on these women's head. As an aside, one of the boys points out Horneus's wife, who like immediately just slaps the shit out of that kid and is like, "No, retard, don't point at me." And the priest is like, "Oh, yeah, no, that's my wife. She's definitely not a witch." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sun was in my eyes." No, really, that's what he said. He was like, "The sun blinded me. It was, I made a mistake. It's her, And so 100 people inside this church congregation, okay? The Horneus is like your guest preacher, like preaching a revival, right? So at the end of his sermon, he starts reading a list of fucking names. 100 people, and there's footmen outside the door with fucking pikes. Like, people from that village are taking up arms against their family and friends and neighbors. And all 100 of them are marched out of the parish into a place called the Mountain of the Stake, which I just think is metal as fuck. All right. So, not all of them, I'm not super sure because record keeping is really shoddy. The best source for this whole story was the grandson of Horneus's wife, who got the whole story from her in her old age, like I think 50 or 60 years after this happening. But so 100 people go up, and they won't execute pregnant women, which is fucking very civilized of them. And maybe some people were acquitted. I don't know. But in the end, 71 people were beheaded, bled, stripped naked, lashed to poles, and burned on top of that hill. It gets better because what happens is your witch finder comes in, finds your witches, you accuse your witches, you report your witches to the higher court or the higher diocese, basically, and then the higher church court says, okay, well, here's the sentence for these witches. They skipped the middleman. They're like, these are burn them. So it was like a fucking illegal, yes, it was an illegal mass murder of people for no fucking reason. So, but that was, again, just like the Giles Corey case, this was something that was so barbaric that it led to the witch trials dying off in Sweden. In fact, it only went on for another year. Also, most of those boys the tail boys who would, either inform on people or mark them as witches in the building were found with their throats cut.
Wow.
And the ones who lived, according to the story written down by the grandson, and he knew some of them personally, they were still sickly into their old age because of the vile treatment from Horneus, and others wouldn't even go near his house. Like, as adults, were scared of that man's house because of how fucking brutally he treated those children in order to get them to tell him who the witches were.
Well, and even as horrific as those stories are, and you have just regular, like what we would know as head witches, which are witches that are more individual. They kind of keep to themselves. They're like the healers. They're the ones that the townspeople would go to, maybe like a midwife, or if someone was sick. And, they lived out in the woods more, and they were an independent woman, basically, who had a lot of skills. And same thing, with them. They were killed. They were betrayed in that sense. It happened all the time, just due to ignorance.
If they pissed somebody off, it was over for them. They were branded a witch. But at the same time, like especially from like Virginia down, you got the Appalachian area, and there was a lot of hoodoo going on, a lot of folk magic. And there would be these people who were conjurers, who were hoodoo men and hoodoo women, who they'd go to, like, man, I can't have a baby, help me, give me a charm. I've been hexed, give me a charm. I'm trying to, even now people go to the hoodoo man. Hey, I'm trying to get this job. Give me a charm. But there were these conjurers and hoodoo workers who were at the same time as the witch trials were going on, who were like, not on the fringes of society, who were plying their trade. You know what I'm saying? And unless they ran afoul of somebody and got accused of being a witch, everybody knew that they were special people. They were touched.
I knew that you had this in Salem, but and obviously the voodoo and shamans and stuff in New Orleans area, but I didn't know you had this along the Appalachians and stuff. So what religion or what background is that?
It comes from a lot of it. There's a combination of Old English stuff and then African stuff that came over with slaves and that came over with the white people. But I mean, it's a lot of mountain magic. It's a lot of like boots. It's a belt and suspenders magic, and it's also like, your horseshoe above the door. That's an old hoodoo thing, or burying iron spikes in your yard, or we call them witch jars or witch bottles. And it'll be a bottle with pins and nails and stuff in it that you bury in your yard what is it? There's something about, you take a wedge of a piece of potato and you put it on a wart and you wrap it in a dish rag and you bury it and the wart will go away. Like, that's some old hoodoo shit. It's just country mountain magic.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It's so funny. I didn't even think about it reaching up to Tennessee for some reason.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, you would have African, belief system coming on over and then with the Haitians and everything further south, and so that's really interesting.
And it's also there's a lot of, like, in the mountains, there's a lot of Scots and Irish that came. They came in up in New England and then just fucking made their way south and settled all throughout the Appalachians. And And their culture's still kind of alive, man. I mean, you still got conjure men out in the mountains, you know, and a lot of that hillbilly accent that everybody likes to make fun of, that's just Scots Irish. It's been watered down over years. And then bluegrass mountain music, you know, that's a evolution of old Irish reels and shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say my family on my mom's side, they're all from West Virginia.
Oh, nice.
Backwoods, West Virginia.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of the Scott Irish moved to this area because when they come over from Scotland, Ireland, they were, you know, hated there. And when they got to New York, they were still hated because they were
like, fuck y'all, we'll go live in the mountains.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, well, let's move down, and the mountains become their home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Lucas,
looked up
just
something,
muted.
Yeti, and magic in the mountains is traditional granny magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say granny or granny?
Granny.
Granny. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like granny magic. Like the older lady that can, like y'all were talking about, that can heal, that knows certain herbs that probably make you feel better, you know, all that stuff.
Go and blow a ward away, or
that stuff. Yeah, what you were saying.
Yeah,
good luck, horseshoe over, and you know.
Yeah. Put an onion in your sock when you go to sleep and make you feel better in the morning.
Yeah,
it's all hoodoo. Like, people think it's just like, they don't think of it as magic because it's, you know, it's so ingrained.
It's like old wives' tale.
Mm-hmm. It's so ingrained into the old time. You know, they don't think of it as magic anymore. They think of it as just.
I would be. I've always been curious. I'm not really into homeopathic. I personally have never experienced any benefits of it.
Right.
However, with that being said, it is something that I've been recently wanting to study more and try, because I mean, it makes sense that it should work to some degree for certain things. You know what I mean? Obviously, because that's all we had at one point. So I find that really fascinating. People that are so good with working with herbs and such. I think that's a really neat interest to have.
Yeah. Modern homeopathy is kind of bullshit, but once you get past all the doTERRA and shit and get into, you know, using what the earth gives you to feel better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
I know Cunningham's a big author for that. So I have a couple of his books as well. I've had them for years, actually.
Okay, I'm learning more about granny magic real quick.
Hey, Yeti, did you? I'll cut this part out or whatever. Are you good on everything? Because I was gonna go on to mine if I can, or Angela, you could go next.
No, I'm good.
Johnny was just about to.
Oh, go, Johnny. Well, Johnny, yes.
Oh no, the granny magic thing has it where, like you were saying, Yeti, and also they learned from the plants and roots and leaves of indigenous people, the natives that lived in the area, which is really cool because that's what it's all about. You learn about the plants that can heal, and then people think that it's all magic, but it's actually just herbs and plants that heal your body. But that time gets lost, and you forget, you know, where they learned it from, and then they think they're magic. You know what I mean? I just thought that was it's just true. And then, like you said, it come African descent, people from African descent escaping into the mountains also spread more. You know, you start learning more from different cultures, which is really awesome. Just, you know.
I agree. I think it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Jim Jam, what's your topic, bud?
Well, it's going to be a quick and simple one. Just kind of Epic Games is, I guess they're for this whole quarantine or pandemic thing. They're releasing free games every month. So I think it was October 29th. They're releasing the Blair Witch game and the old not old Ghostbusters, but I guess it's been out for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The remaster, they're releasing those for free on their website. So there you go, 2 free games. I looked up Blair Witch game on Steam. It's $29 on there. So that's if you want to.
Ghostbusters the video game is what it's called.
Yeah. Have either of y'all played that?
I played a trial version of it, like a beginning. I didn't get to play a lot of it because I wasn't paying. You know what I'm saying? Because they remastered it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really down to pay $20 for this game, like on the PlayStation Store. Was that Ghostbusters? I don't remember, man.
It's
because they got a Back to the Future game too. That was kind of lame.
Yeah. I had it on. I think we had it on the Nintendo Wii. So I don't know if we had it on PlayStation 3, I believe.
I had it on Xbox 360. It's really cool, man. It's like it's based on the script they had put together for Ghostbusters 3.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like Dan Aykroyd's script, and you get a lot of like lore.
Yeah.
And man, it's fucking neat. All the cast is there, like the voice actors, like everybody's there, and it feels really cool. It's like you get to be a Ghostbuster with the team, and it's fun, and the story is really cool. So if you haven't played it, you're fucking I might.
Yeah, I'm gonna download both of them just because they're fucking free,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hell, why not? I'll go to my topics real quick. They're just quick ones, but The Witches, the remake of The Witches from the early '90s movie, it's out on HBO Max.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching it today, actually, after we're done podcasting.
Yeah. And I wish I'd have known it would have come out because I probably would have already watched it because that witch in the older movie, the original, was just freaky as fuck as a kid, dude.
Angelica Houston.
Those effects hold up too.
Yeah, it was like, dude, what the? This is a kid's movie? Well, apparently this movie is the same way. There's some things in it, the newer one, they said that there's some things in it that aren't really for kids because that witch was scary as a kid. 10, 11 years old, that was like, the fuck? I think I was 10 or 11 when I watched it. I don't remember. But it was weird and creepy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they said that the new one is the same way, but it's still a kid's movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's made for kids, which that movie is made for kids too. So, but that movie was made over in England, right? The original. Like I remember.
I want to say it was.
I could be told on that.
The CGI in the new one though is like I haven't watched it, but I've seen clips of it.
Yeah.
Of just like the effects and stuff, and it doesn't hold a candle to. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it looks like a Slender Man screamer or something.
Yeah. But I mean, still, as a kid, though.
Yeah, as a kid. But at the same time, man, there's the original Witches, that was Jim Henson. Yeah, that's Henson. That's Jim Henson puppetry.
Like generational, like
you can't touch that.
Savant, not savant, but greatness. In that he was really good at what he was doing at that time. So
yeah, I think this is the last movie he worked on.
And that was my witch stuff, but this is just news. Apparently, Scarlett Johansson. Y'all know who she is. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone knows who she is. Is set to star in Apple and A24's Bride, which is a new take on Bride of Frankenstein. And she come out and finally, Sebastian, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Lelio, is directing. He did A Fantastic Woman and Gloria. And, of course, Lauren Schuker Blum, she's got to be a part of everything. Blumhouse, it seems like is. Yeah. And Rebecca Angelo are scripting with Lelio. I'm brutalizing his name. But Johansson did seem to indicate that it is intended to be a Bride of Frankenstein movie, and it's not with Universal's involvement. So, but she told a site that it is long overdue for Bride to step out of the shadow of her male counterpart and stand alone, working alongside Rebecca Angelo and Lauren Schuker Blum. Sebastian and I are extremely excited to emancipate this classic anti-heroine and reanimate her story to reflect the change we see today.
So
Hey, guys.
originally, when they started talking about doing this Bride movie, they were going to have Angelina Jolie. That was the rumor.
Okay, now I remember, because I was like, have I heard about this? Because it seems like we should have. But when you brought up Angelina Jolie now, that's the lost connection.
Yeah.
Would you, Angelina Jolie? I think she might have been a better bride.
I do too.
Yeah. Her look, the look of her
Absolutely.
would have been a
Yeah.
better bride. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
really.
nothing against Scarlett Johansson, but
No,
it's just
but
the look.
no, I don't.
Two totally different looks. Yeah.
I feel like Angelina Jolie has sharper features,
Yes.
Mhm.
kind of, and that really kind of lends itself to the Bride look. I don't know. I may have to
And
watch
very-
that this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
So-
out.
Oh no, I mean Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, that's fine. What are you talking about? Gotcha, bro. Gotcha. But that was my topics. I don't know. I just thought that was newsworthy. You know,
That'd be cool.
Yeah. People are really into Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein in general. And if you didn't know, now you know, as that one song or whatever.
Or the movie of the week. Tonight on the movie of the week.
Hansel and Gretel Get Baked. Why do I keep pronouncing this fucking name wrong? Looking at the screen. What is wrong with me?
Are you baked? Are you baked? Is the
I
other
wish I
question.
would. I wish. Marijuana was legal in Tennessee because I would smoke weed. I quit drinking.
Me
but-
too.
Well, we got fucking idiots here in law, so they fuck it up
Well,
every time.
It's a lot of places. But Angela chose this movie. She had originally chose, what was the movie?
Don't remember. It's
Burn
irrelevant.
steak.
It's
No.
Oh yes, burn at the stake.
You said it sucked so bad.
It sucks so bad. Yeah. I just remember that opening scene. I saw it when it first came out. You got to think how young I was. So to me, that first scene was when he was getting weighted with rocks. So that was embedded in my brain, not the rest of the bullshit. I didn't even know what it was.
Imagine, you only remember the good part.
Yes.
And this is from 2013. Dwayne Journey was the director, writer, David Tillman. Angela, take it away.
Yeah, it's a semi-loose take on Hansel and Gretel, a brother and sister. Basically, the sister likes to smoke weed with her boyfriend, and there's a witch that we don't know who's a witch, but she grows a great-ass strand, and so that's how she lures teenagers to her home, because she has to eat them to stay youthful. And when the boyfriend goes missing, Hansel and Gretel go knocking, and then all ensues.
Yeah, the boyfriend, Ashton. They stereotyped him a little bit as a fucking idiot, pretty much, in my opinion.
Yeah,
He was a classic stupid stoner guy.
yeah, he was. And here's the thing, like I'm watching this movie this morning, right? And I was pretty baked too. But I started thinking, okay, here's what happens. Okay, he gets this bomb ass bud from his guy. All right. And he's like, yeah, I got this shit from this little old lady in Pasadena, right? Which is a funny little reference they make a few times. And so he gets, her name's Esther, and he gives him the address to go pick up. He's like, yeah, just tell her I sent you, fool. It's fine. So he goes to Esther's house, and she sits him down, and they like smoke a bowl. And to me, she seems kind of flirty, right? And then she goes to like get him something. Like she's like, "Oh, you got the munchies? I'll get you some sardines," because she's old and German.
I know, that's so gross.
And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, what about this gingerbread house?" And she's like, "Don't touch my gingerbread house. I'll be right back." So what's this fucker do? He pulls a chunk of the gingerbread off and finds like her Nazi passport and a bunch of victims, photos of victims and stuff, and he eats the gingerbread. And it's like drugged and he falls out. Okay, look. And then like bad stuff happens to him. She captures him and fucking takes him down and she like cannibalizes him and whatnot.
Okay, well, let's just.
But
before you go too forward, because I wanted to say.
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Go ahead.
But if he would have just been cool, right? If he'd just been like, "Oh yeah, no, I won't eat your fucking house decorations." You know,
How many times have you been high and something looks good and you're like, I gotta have that now?
like,
But if you're at your dealer's house, like, if you're
yeah,
at-
dude.
doing that.
I'm not. Yeah, and if somebody tells me, "Hey, leave that alone," yeah, all you gotta do is be like, "Okay, cool, I won't eat." Because to me, fucking gingerbread is decoration anyway.
It
You
is
know?
what? However, they were gonna make gingerbread cookies or whatever. Before.
Yeah, but if he would have just been cool and like respected her, don't eat my gingerbread, because I think, okay, because she sells bud to fucking a bunch of people. There's a scene later on where you see like people leaving her house, like
Yeah.
just
It was
say
good.
and the plug that Ashton gets it from, he's been doing business with her for a grip, right? So she's not just whacking all of her clientele. She's got to get that money,
No.
right? So if Ashton would have just went in there and fucking been cool, he could have had a cool ass connect. And I bet you the next time he picked up, that cannibal Nazi witch would have just been like, "Hey, why don't you fix my pipes? I'll fill your pipes if you fill mine," you know? And it had been on and popping. Had a great connection.
Before you even went into all of that, the opening scene was the best. I got to give a little props. Carrie was in this. You know, we all know from Princess Bride and Saw and everything. I didn't even recognize him at first. I kept looking at him and I'm like, I know this guy. I know this guy. So I really liked the opening scene right away. Kind of lured me in. I was really into that
Yeah.
right away. So
Was that him?
yeah, it was.
Holy
Uh-huh.
shit. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was like, there were a few people in this that I was like, I've seen them in something. You know, I didn't really even realize that was him. That's
I didn't
fucking
realize
crazy.
that was the Meteor Man. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the freaking Robin Hood. Men in
Yeah.
Tights.
I love that movie.
Yeah, holy
Yeah,
shit.
he's fabulous. I mean, he's
Yeah, he
childhood memories right there.
I
Yeah.
love The Princess Bride so much. It's such a
Yeah.
good movie.
Bought that on DVD for like $3.74 at Walmart.
It's so good.
Whoop,
I
whoop.
mean,
My wife has a beer sign that says, "I'm not a witch, I'm your wife." Yeah, it's such a good movie. I didn't even recognize that. I feel ashamed.
yeah, the opening scene where Gretel. Oh girl, her name's fucking Gretel. She is Gretel in the movie. I didn't even realize that her name was Gretel and that the brother's name was Hansel until they got to the fucking house. And she said, "Yeah, that's my brother Hansel's with me or something." I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Did you
Because-
notice?
Go ahead.
Did you notice how like German their costuming looked there in the first like little bit of the movie? Like it kind of looked like Lederhosen a little bit. I thought it was fucking neat.
Yeah.
Yes,
And then
I noticed that too. Yeah.
when she was down in the basement looking, she had like a little satchel on the front, like the way that it was placed and everything. To me, like it's just like she's going through the woods, and you know what I'm saying, like looking for leaving the trail of candy. Like, I mean, they put the hints of Hansel and Gretel, the story in, you know, little parts of in the movie to make it, you know, modern time. But Gretel, she was in, I don't know, I knew I recognized her, and then when I looked it up, She was on Castle. I don't know if y'all watched that show, but it was a really popular show. I think on ABC.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he was like.
What'd you guys think of Laura Flynn Boyle?
Oh Lord.
She does look good with a little more weight on her. I'm not used to seeing her like that. I haven't seen her since the post facelift and everything. She's always been a pretty lady, but at least she has some weight on her now.
Yeah,
She actually, if you don't know who she is and you just saw her as is now, she's still a really attractive lady.
Yeah, she was in Men in Black, right?
Yeah.
Was that
Men in
her?
Black too.
Yeah, she was in Twin Peaks. She's been in tons of stuff.
Wait, was she not the original?
Jack Nicholson's girlfriend? Yeah, that's her.
Oh, huh.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
She looks really different.
I watched a review for this movie this morning, and they were talking about how bad her lip job was.
It's pretty bad.
I didn't have much of a problem with her mouth. I don't know. I thought she was.
That's
Yeah, she's a very attractive woman, and also she's like an evil Nazi cannibal witch. So like,
I thought that was pretty cool. I
It's
thought
just
she
kind of
was,
hot.
yeah, I liked her. I liked her as the witch and
Yeah.
stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked
Yeah.
how.
Good.
Hey, I'd be eating young boys too if it made me look really hot. Just so y'all know.
I would too. I mean, because ultimately she's sucking life force out of them to
Yeah.
get younger.
Uh-huh.
Now, the eating them part, I'm not sure 100% what that's for. Besides, she's just like eating people. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Well, it's economical.
yeah,
You use all the parts of the teenager.
yeah. When he was like, what did he? Oh crap! I wish I could remember exactly what he said. He's like, well,
Don't
you
click that.
want to swallow? I mean, I've never done that before, but I guess that's okay. Or something. Or something like it's kind of weird.
I don't want to
reached
watch.
down his pants. Yeah, I don't want to watch. That's what he said. And reached down his pants. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll swallow it." And like, I was just like, I thought she was gonna cut it off.
I did too.
I was like, man, cut it off.
See, and all he had to do was be cool. That happened twice in this movie, where people could have just fucking been cool, and she'd have left him alone.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
Put some respect on her name. Yeah.
As
I did kind of find humor in when the girlfriend when Gretel was going around and she runs into her boyfriend's other drug dealer friend and his girlfriend and the Skittles. I don't know why the Skittle whole thing. They were funny. They were cute.
Yeah, they were. So didn't I take this quiz already?
Yeah. So
they were fun.
And they had some really good scenes as far as gore and practical effects and everything like that. Because there was something on there that said that it was considered just to be released straight to DVD. Like the movie. I'm not sure how well it did at the box office, but probably not too well, but you know. But
yeah, I've seen this a while on Tubi, and a friend recommended it. They asked me if I watched it, and I said no, I hadn't seen it yet, but it was on my list. They're like, "Oh, check it out."
It was on Hulu a few years back. That's where I saw it the first time.
Yeah, I remember it there too.
And the strain of weed that they had was Black Forest. The Black Forest.
Yeah.
In Germany, this movie is called Hansel und Gretel Black Forest.
Yeah.
Und Gretel.
I was gonna say
German's one of those languages that just always sounds sinister.
Yes.
Well,
sprechen Sie Deutsch nicht so gern.
Yeah. Guten Tag. Oh no, don't hit me.
Yeah.
That's all I know, man. Donka or whatever.
I only know a little German. I don't
I learned
remember
that.
a lot of it.
What was it? Of the old fuck. The guy off Baywatch, Knight Rider. You know,
Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff?
David
Hasselhoff is
Hasselhoff.
like they love him in Germany, like as a
Yeah.
singer. And he has that one song, Gonka Shay or whatever.
Dankeschön.
Yeah, he has that
Yeah,
song.
it's not
and
his.
like,
He didn't do. Yeah, but
That's
But-
Tom Jones.
oh yeah, but didn't he redo it or something? And fucking,
I'm sure he did.
they loved that shit. So
Hey Eddie, we should do a reaction to that, and you could. Oh man, we'd probably get murdered. All them Germany fanboys with Hasselhoff.
Murdered by Germans. On cheap.
wouldn't be the first
millions
time
of
in
people have been.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
they killing Yeti on that damn Nickelback.
Nickelback fanboy. They're like boring juggalos.
it.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
Fuck.
I just had to throw that out there that Yeti's been getting murdered on YouTube comments.
Yeah, there's these Nickelback fanboys are going roast mode. It's oh god,
They
it's
don't
fucking
just
beautiful.
reference Yeti though; they reference all of us for that fucking review, and it's like they didn't even watch the whole review.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, so Hansel and Gretel get baked. I think it would be better if you did get baked before watching it. In my personal opinion, that's just my
I can like 100% tell you that does probably makes. I enjoyed it a bunch.
I liked it, but it just went on. As somebody who's not allowed to get baked, but would like to, it's fun, but it kind of dragged a little bit for me.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it does.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say avoid the movie. You know, if you have a chance to watch it, like it's a good Saturday movie.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good jokes.
Like
Yeah.
if you got a couple friends over or something, you know.
Yeah.
You sit, watch a movie, talk in between each other. You know.
So-
I mean,
There's one
Yeah,
scene
I
in the
agree.
movie that I just loved so much. It was like Gretel showed up, and then like Hansel showed up, and then these Mexican drug dealers. It's like motherfucker. Every time she got done dealing with somebody
Oh,
else is at the
That
door.
was so funny. That was
And
hilarious.
the cops knocked on the door, and she just opens the door, and instead she just fucking shoots both of them and slams the door. You just see it on her face. She's just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" You know.
I
It's
agree.
just-
That was so funny.
what's funny? Her line was something like "Just can't fucking deal with this today."
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck me,
how
are
I
you serious?
I get it.
I can't fucking deal with it.
Also, there's this scene where Ashton's plug, his name's Manny. He's like a little fucking low-level drug dealer, and his regular plug is named Carlos, and he's like this asshole Mexican drug dealer, right? And he's got these goons with him and whatnot. And so he finds out that Manny's pushing this Black Forest shit, and he gets all mad about it, and he robs some fools who are smoking it, and he fucking goes and takes Manny's money, and he says a bunch of dirty shit about Esther, and he's like, "You go tell that bitch what I said." So she shows up, and she rolls a blunt out of Homeboy's skin, and is smoking it with Manny, and she's like, "Can I see your phone, dearie? I just want to do a little text." And she picks up the phone and she's texting, and she looks up at it and goes, "Do you spell faggot with one G or two?" And she's like, "Oh, he's just stunned." And she's like, "Okay, we're going to go with two G's." And then she hands his phone back to him, and I was just like, that was fucking good. You're not gonna get that in any other movie. That was so good. You spell faggot with one G or two. So yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's fucking hilarious. I think it would be a really dope double feature with Idle Hands.
Yeah.
Like this and Idle Hands would go fucking awesome back to back.
Yeah, definitely similar feels and everything. For sure.
Yeah.
Now, were you guys really into like 2000 horror or even 90s horror? See, I really wasn't. I'm really not. I mean, I like when I first saw Scream, that was like wow when I saw in the theater and The Ring and stuff like that. But honestly, like all the other stuff just didn't ever really grab me. And even I'm not into all the screams and all that stuff even now.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, since you mentioned Scream, my daughter was showing me something, and Wes Craven makes an appearance in Scream, and he's the janitor, but he's dressed up as Freddy Krueger, but
Freddy.
with long
Yeah.
hair though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, holy shit, that's pretty funny.
That's good shit.
Anyways,
I watched Scream, but I don't know the appeal. I don't understand the appeal. That's just me.
I think if I had to choose them type, because I feel like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer are kind of similar to me in a way. I don't know why, but I like I Know What You Did Last Summer better than that.
But Scream has Rose McGowan in it, so
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like. Maybe it's just something about the feel of all of them. They just kind of bore me.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's-
90s and 2000s.
There's something about it like
I'm
that.
just like, ugh.
And I'm just curious if it's like growing up and being in the 80s and watching all of them, and even
Yeah.
Wes Craven, making a Scream or whatever, it still doesn't have that feel. Which I know movies change, like that's just what happens, and you're going to update and change stuff. But even Child's Play, like to me, it's better than Scream.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
Look at the difference though. If you take Last House on the Left, which I love, and then you go into the later works, how drastically different Wes Craven's movies were. I mean, that was so raw, so gritty, so in your face for that, especially for the time, so much like a snuff film. And then you go into Scream.
Yeah. Well, I think that is a good illustration for like in horror in general is like you see, like late 60s, all the way through the 70s and through the 80s. Horror is almost like a fringe thing.
Yes.
And so there's a lot more auteur filmmakers who are like really plying what they want to make, because it's fringe anyway. So then you get into the late 80s, early 90s, and into the 2000s, where it's starting to become like a money thing. You see, you can make money off of horror, so the studios get involved and they start churning out Screams and Final Destinations and fucking this, that, and the other thing, and it's all very cookie cutter, and until it falls out of favor again. And I kind of think that's where we are now, because like even like with the movies that are coming out and hitting theaters or were before the world ended, they just weren't. I mean, it's all the same shit, pretty much.
I disagree a little to some extent, because you do kind of get that feel with like The Invisible Man, with it, and those movies that they are very Hollywood. However, even movies that have big budgets like Ari Aster and Edgar, like with The Lighthouse and with Hereditary, Midsommar, It Follows. I mean, those are great movies, and I love seeing the voices that come from that, and they don't have that Hollywood feel per se.
But that's few and far between, though. Those are all good movies, though. They're really good.
But they hit box offices, and they hit the theaters, and they did well. And so, I mean, it's nice to see that it's still kind of there, but something about the, it all started, let's face it, with the Halloween and Friday the 13th. I mean, that's when it was like, oh my God, we can make money.
Yeah.
Put them out.
And,
but the I Know What You Did Last Summer and all of those, the Final Destinations. I mean, I'll watch them, but
Yeah.
have the same feel. So it's a little I don't know, blah. Feels very blah to me.
Yeah.
And as much as I really did like it, and I enjoyed the Saw movies,
Oh, me too.
the Hostels, all of those. Those were great. I don't even lump any of those in the same category.
No.
But the teen horror, so to speak, of the 90s and stuff are just, I don't know.
Yeah, I skipped most of those.
Yeah.
Hey, do we want to go back to and give a rating for this movie or not worry about it?
I recommend it.
You could I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
said,
we already did. I thought.
I
My
don't
bad.
I don't really I don't know. I don't like giving like ratings. I'd give it like a like a B plus. I had a lot of fun with it. Of course, I think I was the audience. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
That's
Target
the thing.
audience.
I mean, it's a pothead horror movie. What the fuck? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
If you fit that demographic, man, fucking tune in, turn on, and drop out. Do it.
Yep.
It's good for you.
Go watch it and form your own opinion on it. See what
Fuck
you
yeah,
think.
it's on
See what's
Tubi
wrong,
for
see
free.
what's right about it.
Yeah, I think it's bad to kind of rate movies anyways, because the fact that you're just watching horror is awesome.
Yeah.
So whatever you like, whatever your taste is, that is great. And the last thing I would ever want to do is knock somebody, who loves a certain genre or area or stop somebody from checking something out unless it was so freaking horrible. I'm like, please just let me save your life.
But the good thing about really, really freaking horrible movies are, like, if you can make fun of them and you have like a bad movie night.
Oh, those are so good.
Sure,
Like
but
a group
like
of
the
friends and
movie
you just fucking destroy it the whole way through,
I was watching, you couldn't even talk about it.
Oh yeah,
That's why I was just like, we can't even talk about this.
But yeah, just so we remind everyone, we're going to be on the Everyday Joe Show. Me and Jim Jam are. You can watch it on Facebook Live, or I'm pretty sure 101.5 The Rooster. It's a local radio station here where we live. I'm sure they have an online thing, but that you can listen to it on from 7:30 to, is it 9 or 10, Jim Jam? 10? Somewhere around there.
Jim and Johnny are going to be on the cock.
Yeah. Wait, what?
On the cock.
Oh,
That's
okay. I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Rooster's another name for cock.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you said cock or top. So I was
Cock.
just like, where are we going with this? What?
Top of the cock.
But yeah, the Everyday Joe Show, you can watch, like I say, on Facebook Live. You can interact because you can ask questions on there and everything. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I think we're going to talk some Halloween.
You can
camp.
ask them what it's like to be on the cock.
Yeah, you can. On the Rooster, 101.5 FM, AM.
Unfortunately,
So we're quick.
we can't say we can't cuss at all on there. So
I think we'll be okay. I didn't cuss one time in this, so
That's what. Did you not? Well, good job.
no, I fucking did.
I don't ever pay attention to any of that.
You don't because when you cuss a lot, you don't recognize cuss words. Like, it's just words. They're just
Yeah.
words.
They're just
But-
commas to me. Shit.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, share us with your friends. Like, just that's the ultimate thing. If you want to support us financially, you go to Patreon. You can donate some money. That'd be awesome too. So
buy
thank
some
you.
merch.
Yeah, buy some merch at TeePublic. That helps us out too. And speaking of weed merch, what is a friend with weed is a friend indeed.
yeah.
Yeah, man. We got
There you go.
some stoner merch. We got some more coming in the near future. Also, this podcast will come out a few days before Halloween. Keep your earballs and your eye holes open. We've got a big announcement coming on Halloween.
Ooh,
Fucking
okay.
yeah, we're gonna got the big announcement coming out Halloween. Big
Yay.
man, it's fucking Silver Shamrock, man. It's tune in and fucking man, I'm so excited about this announcement that we've got for you guys on Halloween. I can't fucking stand it. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right. I guess that's all we got. We out.
Keep watching
Peace.
horror.
Stay spooky. Try not to be an asshole.
Now it's time to say goodbye to the Basement Guys again. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Or that is, spooks and spells. Take your shirt off. Y'all come back now, you hear?